How to predict a frost. For daily wit and wisdom, sign up for the Almanac newsletter. Frost is one of a gardener's worst foes. Learn how to predict frost, understand the difference between a frost advisory and a freeze warning, and protect your garden from frost. What is a frost, exactly? Frost refers to the layer of ice crystals that form when water vapor on plant matter condenses and freezes without first becoming dew. A light frost occurs when the nighttime temperature drops to at or just below 32 degrees Fahrenheit 0 degrees Celsius. A hard freeze is a period of at least 4 consecutive hours of air temperatures that are below 28 degrees Fahrenheit -2 degrees Celsius. Many plants can survive a brief frost, but very few can survive a hard freeze. See more about this below. Frost advisory versus freeze warning. As with other significant weather events, meteorologists will often issue a warning or an advisory, depending on the likelihood of the event happening and its severity. According to the National Weather Service, the warning terms for frosts and freezes are defined as follows. Frost advisory, issued when minimum temperatures are expected to be between 33 degrees and 36 degrees Fahrenheit, 0.5 degrees and 2 degrees Celsius. Skies are generally clear and winds light. Freeze watch, issued when minimum temperatures are expected to be 32 degrees Fahrenheit 0 degrees Celsius or less within the next 24 to 36 hours. Freeze warning, issued when minimum temperatures are imminently expected to be 32 degrees Fahrenheit 0 degrees Celsius or less. Hard freeze warning, issued when minimum temperatures are expected to be 28 degrees Fahrenheit -2 degrees Celsius or less. Of course, the easiest way to predict frost is to let the weatherman do it for you. However, if you want to be able to predict it yourself, read on. Know your frost dates. The first step in predicting frost involves getting to know the average frost dates for your area. Put your zip code in our frost dates calculator to find frost dates for spring and fall for your location. Note, these dates are averages, so they can only tell us what is typical, not the future. Also, the frost dates are based on a 30% probability, meaning that there is a 30% chance of a frost occurring after the given spring frost date or before the fall frost date. In other words, these dates are not absolutes and should only be used as rough guidelines. Learn your microclimates. Keep in mind that the occurrence of frost can vary greatly by microclimate, too. In fact, while you may have frost in your garden, your neighbor across the street may see no sign of it. A microclimate is exactly what it sounds like, a climate on a small scale. For example, if your garden is located at the bottom of a hill where cold air settles, it's likely to be impacted by frost earlier than a garden at the top of the hill. Or, if your plants are abutting a rock wall in full sun, they'll be kept warmer to some extent by the heat given off by the rocks. 5 tips for predicting frost. Consider these factors when the radio and TV reports say frost tonight. Temperature, how warm was it during the day? It may sound simple, but one of the best ways of determining if a frost is due overnight is to gauge the temperature. If the temperature reached 75 degrees Fahrenheit in the east or north, or 80 degrees Fahrenheit in the desert southwest, the chance of the mercury falling below 32 degrees Fahrenheit at night is slim. See our 5-day forecasts to check your weather forecast. Is it windy? A windy night is also likely to reduce the likelihood of a frost. A still night allows cold air to pool near the ground, a light breeze stirs things up, a heavy, cold wind sweeps away warm air near the ground. Is it cloudy? Observe the sky. If the sun sets through a layer of thickening clouds, the clouds will slow radiational cooling and help stave off a frost. With clouds, the risk of frost is reduced. Slope, how is your garden landscaped? Gardens on slopes or high ground often survive. However, cold air sinks and will puddle down into the valleys and hollows. If your home and garden are at the bottom of a slope or in a valley, and there is no wind, then there is higher risk of frost. A landscape with trees can assist in preventing frost. Trees transpire a lot of moisture through their leaves. What is the dew point? As a rule of thumb, don't worry about a frost if the dew point, the temperature at which the air is no longer able to hold all the moisture within it, is above 45 degrees Fahrenheit on the evening weather report. The more moisture in the air, the less likely a frost. A light watering of the garden a day or two before a frost is predicted can help stop it settling. How to protect plants from frost? A frost means damage or even death to many vegetable crops. However, there are vegetables which actually benefit from a frost. The flavor of broccoli, for instance, actually improves if the plant has experienced a frost, and carrots get sweeter as the temperature drops.